Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're all well. So today we are going to discuss the 8th problem in the TLE Eliminator CP sheet, 1000 rated problems. The problem name is distinct split. So let's get started. Let's start by reading the problem statement first. Let's denote the function f of x for a string x as the number of distinct characters that the string contains. For example, the value of the function for the string abc is 3, for the string 5 times b is 1, and for the string ba is 3, since there are 3 distinct characters. Given a string s, split it into 2 non-empty strings a and b such that f of a and f of b, the sum of them is the maximum possible. In other words, find the maximum possible value of fa plus fb such that a plus b equals s. The concatenation of the string a and string b equals to the string s. We'll be given an n, that is the length of the string and the string itself. We need to output a single integer, the maximum possible value of fa plus fb. So let's understand the problem. We are given a function of x that returns some value. Now this x is a string and this returns the count of distinct characters. Like for the string a, b, c, d, e, it will return 5. For the string a, b, it is going to return 2, since there are only 2 distinct characters, right? So we are given a string and we need to divide it. Let's take the second sample test case string abc, we need to divide the string at a particular index so that the value that the function gives for this string and this string, if we sum them up, that is the maximum value, right? So what is the brute force approach that comes to our mind? We will go on for each index, like we will go on for all the indexes and we'll find it. Like the brute force, iterate for all indexes. Like I will divide the string here. Like I have one string as a and the other string as b, c, a, b, c, d. Then I'll have the string as AB and C, A, B, C, D. And for each of these strings, I will calculate the f function value. Like for this, the function value would be 1. For this, the function value would be 3. For this, it will be 2. For this, it's going to be 4. So, and here also it's going to be 4, right? And so on. So while for calculating this, I'll be iterating over the whole string again. So it is going to be a big O of n operation. And similarly, I'm going to iterate over the whole string. So the time complexity is going to be big O of n square, and our constraints are till 2e5, that means 2e5 power 2, that is around 4e10. We cannot perform these many operations, so we are going to get a TLE in this. Now let's try to improve the approach. Let's try to optimize it. We are given the string a, b, c, d. One thing that we are sure is that we need to iterate over the whole string once. So we have in the above, in this brute force approach, we had big O of n into big O of n. This was for the iterating part and this was for the finding the function, finding f of x value. So we cannot decrease this. So let's try to decrease this value. So what we can do for this, we can maintain like what is the count at this particular end, like what is the count in the whole string, right? So let's say, let's make a map. Like the a, how many times the a occurs? 1, 2, that's it. How many times does b occur? Once here, twice here. So c, 1 and 2. b occurs once. This is the count. Let's say I want to divide here. So in my a string, that in my first string, I'll have one a and I'll have b, c, a, b, c, d. So in this, in the total string, for this, I'll just remove 1 from here and the other would be for this. Similarly, for the second string, I would remove 1b from here and it will be 1 and 1, and that will be for the second case. For the third case, abc and abcd, I'll remove 1 from here, that will be 1 again. Now in this case, when I do this, CA and BCD, when I decrement this by 1, it becomes 0. That means A doesn't exist here anymore, it's only here. So the count decreases by 1. Like for this map, the count decreases. For this map, it is the same, like it's 1 only, like it was already present, so it's 1. So we are just going to have a map that has the count of characters. How many times do they appear in the current string? Like if they don't appear, we'll just erase them. Like in this case, it became 0, so we'll erase the count. So here it was 3 different characters, here also it was 3 different characters, right? That's all that we need to do. If you didn't understand like how am I doing this, just try to dry run it once. Like how am I going to, like how am I mapping the whole thing, like how am I subtracting, and then let's do a quick dry run also. A B C and D. Initially my split is this, so this is my map 1 and this is my map 2, and initially my map contains these values: B is 2, C is 2 and D is 1. On the first index I reduce it to 1 and I put it here. So my answer was, what is the size, 4 and 1. So my answer initially was 5. Now I come to this index, so I will reduce it by 1 and I will increment this by 1. So my answer becomes 4 plus 2. That is coming on to this index. I'll again reduce just C by 1 and I'll put a C here. So this becomes 3 and this becomes 4. So my answer becomes 7. Now coming on to this A. Now the frequency becomes 0. As soon as the frequency becomes 0, I will erase it. Like this is no longer part of this map. So the size for this map decreases to 3 and it increases to 2 here. So my answer now becomes 6, but it is less than 7, so we don't update the answer. Now to this B, again the same thing happens. We delete this, we increment it to here. So now it becomes 3 and 2, that is 5. That's again less than 7, so we don't do anything. Now to the C, again this is deleted and C gets updated to 2. So the answer is 4 here in this case. That is also less than 7, so we don't do anything. And we cannot delete this index. Like this, the length needs to be at least 1. Like it's already given. Like we need to split them into 2 non-empty strings. So one of the string cannot be empty. So our answer was 7 here, and that is the answer that's given. So I hope you understood the dry run. Now let's write a little bit of code. We'll be given an n and we'll be given a string. We'll take them both as inputs. Now we'll have a map that has character and integer. That is the frequency. This is the frequency 2, and let's have another map that has the frequency 1. For the first index, I will reduce the frequency, like frequency of error of 0. I'll decrement it by 1. Why? Because I want the first string to be non-empty, and after that I will just go on checking, and if the frequency becomes 0, I will erase it and I will just check the answer. The answer is the max of answer and the sum of sizes, sum of map sizes, and I will just print the answer in there. So that's all we need to do in this question. Now let's move on to code the same. I have my boilerplate code here. We'll be given an n. Let's take that as input. We'll have a string str. Let's take that as input as well. We'll have a map that maps a character to a long. I'll call it frequency 2 for character ch in str. I will increment the count c++. This is frequency 2, and let's include the map header here. Now I will make another map for the first string. Reduce the frequency for the first. I'll reduce it if this is 0. If the frequency of str of 0 becomes 0, then I will erase it. I will erase str from it and I will add it to the first array. Now I will start from here. I'll have an answer variable that is initially equal to the sizes of both of them. Frequency 1 dot size and frequency 2 dot size. Right. So now we will reduce the frequency of this in the second string. So frequency of 2 in this minus. Now if this is 0, it becomes 0, then we will erase that and we'll add the same to our first substring, and we'll have an answer that has equal to the max of the current answer and frequency 1 dot size plus frequency 2 dot size, and in the end we will just print the answer. It is giving an error that ll and unsigned long. Okay, so let's cast it as ll. So Now it gives no error. Now let's try for the sample test cases once. 2, 7, 2, 10 and 3. So it gives the correct answer for the sample test cases. Now let's try to run it. Paste and submit. And it got accepted. That means our solution and our approach is correct. I hope you understood the problem. Comment down what was your approach for solving the same problem. The solution link would be in the description section. Do check it out. Also, this is a playlist for all the problems in the CP sheet. Do check out all the other problems as well. Like the video, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. Thank you.